What's up, fellas? So today I thought I'd go over a few reasons why I think you should consider performance fabric, business casual clothing over the regular stuff like cotton, wool, etc. Not that there's anything wrong with cotton or wool or any natural fabrics, of course, but you may not have even known that some brands do make office-appropriate clothing out of these performance fabrics. And even if you did, you may not be fully aware why a performance fabric dress shirt, for example, is better than a regular cotton dress shirt. So that's what we are going to cover today. When I refer to performance fabrics in this video, if I say something like polyester, nylon, lycra, elastane, what are the other words? Anything synthetic, polyblend, I'm basically referring as a whole to performance fabrics in general, although of course each one differs a little bit. But to keep it simple, know that when I say performance fabrics, I am referring to this man-made fabric, not anything that is 100% natural like cotton or wool. Synthetic fabric is typically used in workout gear, so think of Nike's Dry Fit line or Uniqlo's Airism or Dry X line. These are examples of performance fabrics that are used for workout-based clothing. But nowadays, brands are using these performance fabrics in everyday casual and business casual clothing that you can wear to the office or even just in your everyday life, but it doesn't look like workout clothing. And so that's what we are chatting about today. Maybe you typically buy full 100% cotton chinos or 100% wool sweaters or 100% cotton dress shirts. I'm gonna give you a few reasons why you might wanna consider performance fabrics instead. So let's jump into it. Quick shout out to our sponsor for this video, Mizzen Main. I have been recommending and talking about Mizzen Main as a brand for a very long time, probably since 2013 or so. So they've been a long-time partner and I'm happy to have them sponsoring this video. If you haven't heard of them, you have to check their stuff out. They do have incredible performance fabric dress shirts. That's what they started with. And I tried their stuff way back in, like I said, 2013, 2014. And I've noticed that they've only gotten better since then. And they have released a bunch of stuff like mid layers. I know they have a great vest option they have, and they just released performance chinos, which is really incredible too. So I think you should definitely go ahead and check them out. Link in the description box below if you want to click through and take a look at some of the clothing that they offer. Thank you to Mizzen Main for sponsoring this video, of course, and thank you to you for checking out the brands that make these videos possible. Reason number one, the performance fabrics and performance fabric clothing is generally very comfortable and very lightweight. Yeah, so if comfort matters to you at all, or are you looking for something a little bit more lightweight, either because you don't like wearing heavy clothing or you tend to get hot, then you definitely want to consider performance fabric clothing. Because most of these performance fabrics, these synthetic fabrics, they do have 2 or 4-way stretch. You're always going to be very comfortable in your everyday movement, and you can like run, walk, jump with these clothing pieces on, and you won't feel as restricted as you do with regular 100% cotton that doesn't have any stretch at all. Now, just to play devil's advocate, if you do like the heft of a heavyweight chino, let's say in the wintertime, and you like how that drape is with a really heavy cloth, then that's something that you have to consider. Because you're not gonna have that with a lightweight performance fabric, obviously. If you are on the opposite end of the spectrum and you like things a little bit more lightweight, then definitely consider performance fabric clothing. Reason number 2, most performance fabrics are shrink resistant. Cotton tends to shrink and lose shape over time, especially the more and more you wash it. I learned this the hard way many, many years ago, so now I typically wash my clothes that are not performance fabrics. I typically have to wash them in cold water, and then I like to hang dry everything, especially the cotton dress shirts. Sometimes I will throw it in the dryer on like a medium heat, but I always pull them out after a few minutes and just let them hang dry. With performance fabrics, you don't have to worry about this nearly as much. The fabric is designed to sort of bounce back and retain its shape no matter how many times you wash it. So that's a definite plus right there. You don't have to think too hard about how am I supposed to wash this garment. Does this mean that you can dry your performance fabric clothing? Technically, yes, you could, and you don't have to worry about it as much as you would with 100% cotton or 100% wool clothing. But I think as a rule of thumb, I would definitely just at least hang dry my shirts anyway, just to be safe. But if you are in a rush, you can definitely throw them in the dryer and you don't have to worry about any shrinkage. Another benefit is that these performance fabrics tend to dry really quick. It doesn't hold on to any of that moisture like a normal 100% cotton dress shirt can. So if you hang it up for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, it's probably already dry. Reason number 3, performance fabrics don't smell bad. Regular cotton shirts don't do a great job of wicking moisture away from your body and the shirt itself. If you ever got a cotton t-shirt wet, it typically just stays wet. These synthetic fabrics do a good job of wicking the moisture away from both your body and the shirt instead of absorbing it. That's obviously why working out in a performance fabric t-shirt or shorts is a better idea than working out in something that's like 100% cotton sweats or 100% cotton t-shirt. But most likely your workout isn't the only time you sweat. And so naturally it makes sense to invest in a few pieces for your work wardrobe that are also performance fabric based. Like I said, you're gonna wanna check out Mizzen Main, links below. They have a ton of great dress shirts and now chinos, mid layers, everything that you need for work. And hey, in case you break a sweat at work in your Mizzen Main performance fabric shirt, well, it's no sweat at all actually, because moisture wicking. Okay, reason number 4, your performance fabric dress shirts and chinos and stuff do not stay stretched out. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but performance fabrics tend to have stretch properties built in. So it has 2-way stretch built in, 4-way stretch, so you don't ever have to worry about it staying stretched out because it was designed to be stretchy and then kind of whoop, back into its normal shape. Which is a great thing because if you are running around all day in your cotton dress shirt, for example, or maybe you have like wool trousers, you might notice that if you do like a lot of bending or sitting down, there's a lot of wrinkles like in the back of your knee. Sometimes the knee itself gets a little bit baggy and stretched out with your chinos, even your wool trousers or your shirts, for example. Sometimes you have a lot of wrinkling in the back because you're sitting down and you're leaning against the chair. So our clothes tend to wrinkle a lot as we move throughout the day, or we don't move throughout the day. And the nice thing about performance fabric clothing is that you don't have to worry about that kind of thing because it is very wrinkle resistant and because it has that perfect stretch property where it kind of just holds the shape really well and it doesn't stay stretched out. And the 5th reason is wrinkle resistance. I kind of did mention this in step 4, but these performance fabrics tend to resist wrinkles very, very well. Like I said, if you do wear a lot of cotton or wool, you will notice that throughout the day or even like throughout the week, if you're repeating clothes, your pants and your shirt tend to like sort of get wrinkled, not only wrinkled, but like they kind of stretch out a little bit, right? And so the reason that I think that these performance fabrics are great is because of that wrinkle resistance and because of that stretch resistance. And you'll definitely notice it in your not only your first time wearing it, but then as you wear it throughout the week, if you repeat shirts, it's gonna feel like it's the first day you pulled it out of the box. It's gonna stay that nice, great shape. And then all you have to do is throw it in the wash to get it fresh again, and you never have to worry about it, shrinking or even being stretched out. So I think, overall, performance fabric shirts and performance fabric clothing is definitely a great investment. Also, it's important to mention that if you do wash these shirts or pants, you might see a little bit of wrinkling, but typically, at least what I've noticed is that if I hang dry them, the wrinkles just sort of fall out. But if you are experiencing something different, all you have to do is give it a quick pass of like a steamer, which I prefer. I prefer steaming my clothing, or if you don't have one, you can do a quick pass of the iron on medium heat. And typically that just kind of gets rid of all the wrinkles that might be there. So again, if you are at all worried about getting wrinkles throughout the day or just like having to, throw your shirts and pants in the wash and in the dryer and then take them out and you don't feel like ironing, I think performance fabric clothing for the office is a great consideration for you, and you should definitely think about picking up a few shirts and pants just to sort of round out your work wardrobe. All right, fellas, that's all I got for you. I hope this helped you out a bit, especially if you are considering making the switch or at least adding a few pieces that are designed with performance fabrics for your work wardrobe. Don't let the idea of synthetic materials scare you away. You might have heard like, oh, all natural cotton is best, all natural wool, 100% cotton, 100% wool. To a degree, yes, I agree that, that all natural fabrics are good, but I don't think that performance fabrics should be written off because there are a lot of great properties about them. So definitely take a look into this and maybe consider adding a few things to your wardrobe. Also, definitely check out our sponsor again, Mizzen Main. I've worked with them for a long time. I feel like their product has only gotten better and better. So they have a few lines of shirting that you might want to take a look at with different fabric properties. Could be interesting. And they also have the new Baron Performance chinos, worth checking out. So definitely check out the link in the description box below. You're gonna get all the information there. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'm gonna do my best to answer them. And that's all I got for you. Hopefully that helped, and I will catch y'all in the next video. See ya. Peace.